What's up, YouTube world? This is J, and today I am just gonna review WrestleMania 35. For those of you who know, it was yesterday. Today is Monday, April 8th. It was yesterday, April 7th. And it's the Super Bowl for wrestling fans. And the only thing that could compare to WrestleMania for me is if the Cowboys go to the Super Bowl. So, which, that hasn't happened in a while. So, whatever. But anyways, so I'm just going to go over, man, tell you what I liked and what I didn't like, which there wasn't too much that I did not like. But I'm not one of those people that complain about everything. Let me fix my camera. And, oh shit, see, I'm all fucked up. I got some tunes in the background. So, yeah, let's do this. I got all the notes on my phone. So, yeah, just going to go through it quick. And, yeah, yeah, let's do it. Let's see how this goes. It was a good show. I don't know if I'm going to do, like, a grading system. I don't know. I haven't really thought about it yet. Just kind of on the whim. That's hence why notes are on my phone and not actually written down. So, anyways, we had the pre-show. The pre-show had 4 matches on it. The first match was Tony Nese versus Buddy Murphy for the 205 Live Championship. I enjoyed 205 Live. I haven't watched it in a while, though, not because I don't really want to, but because there's just so much wrestling, it just kind of gets lost in the mix, But, it's just cruiserweights. It's just high-flying wrestlers. But anyways, overall, good match. Some high spots and stuff, people doing flippy-dippy stuff. Tony Nese ended up winning, so he is the new 205 Live champion, and good for him. Buddy Murphy was a good champion while he had it. And now it's time for somebody else to have it, and I think he'll do some good things with it. And yeah, so yeah, that was that match. Nothing too crazy, just during the pre-show, getting the crowd warmed up. Then the second match was the female battle royal, and again, kind of what you would expect, just a bunch of women throwing each other over the top rope and stuff. I am upset that fuck's her name? Sarah Logan eliminated Asuka. That's BS, okay? Asuka's one of my faves. So I was mad about that. But then one of my other faves, Carmella, eliminated Sarah Logan. So that made me smile. So that turned my frown upside down. So that was great. I'm happy for Carmella. She's great. A lot of people trash her because she's not the most gifted in the ring or whatever. But you know what, man? That girl has crazy personality, and it's sports entertainment, entertainment, and she is entertaining as a mofo. So, good for her. The next match after that was the Raw Tag Team Championships with Curtis Axel and Zack Ryder facing the Revival, and Kurt Hawkins lost, like, what do they say, 265 matches in a row or something like that, so, like, he had this huge loss streak going, and I said I want him to win at WrestleMania. I didn't care if it would be in the men's battle royal or whatever, dude. I just wanted him to get a win because I feel like that would be the best way for him to get the win is at WrestleMania, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you're going to get your first win after 265 losses, it has to be at WrestleMania. It can't be at, like, some random pay-per-view or Raw or SmackDown or something. That's stupid. So anyways, they had a good match, and sure enough, Kurt Hawkins got the 1, 2, 3, and we have new tag team champions, and Kurt Hawkins got his first win. I don't know how long they'll have the belts for. I don't really see them having them too long. I just think it was a feel-good moment for Kurt Hawkins and the fans, got a nice ovation. So good for you, Kurt. Good for you. Proud of you, man. Let's see. And then we had the men's battle royal. And Andrade ended up eliminating himself. He did some kind of Hurricane Rana from the apron to a guy he was trying to eliminate, and he eliminates himself in the process. So good for you, Andrade. As DJ Khaled would say, you played yourself. Um, and then Braun Strowman just ends up winning it. Beat up those two guys from SNL. I don't remember their names because I don't really care about them. But he beat them up a little bit and ended up winning the Battle Royal. So that was cool. Then we got two actual WrestleMania, and Alexa Bliss came out. She was the host of WrestleMania. She hasn't wrestled in a while. She had some issues with concussions. So hopefully she'll get back in the ring soon. I was not her biggest fan, but you hate to see somebody's wrestling career cut short. So she came out. She wanted to make a WrestleMania moment. All of a sudden, Hulk Hogan brother comes out, and he says his little spiel, and then Paul Heyman comes out talking all this stuff about, oh, if me and Brock aren't going to main event, then, we want to go on first, and we're getting out of here, and we're going to go to the UFC and whatever, where he's treated better, yada, yada. So the first match was the Universal Championship match out of nowhere, which was great. Thumbs up. Well, thumbs up. And overall good match. Brock attacked Seth before the bell, beat him up real good, threw him into the barricade, roughed him up, really, put over his beast character. And then Seth Rollins, being the ultimate fighter, comes back. The ref gets knocked down or knocked out of the ring. I can't exactly remember. Seth takes the opportunity, hits the beast with the low blow. 3 curb stomps later, Seth is the new Universal Champion. Thank the universe that Brock doesn't have that title anymore. I hope this just means brighter things ahead. All right. So, good start to the show. Then we have AJ Styles versus Randy Orton. And this was also a pretty good match. It wasn't as good as I thought it could be, but there was how many matches on this show? A lot. So, whatever. Things happen. But good match for what it was. I like the spot where AJ Styles went to go hit the phenomenal forearm, but Randy Orton was going to hit the RKO out of nowhere, but AJ Styles knew it, and he tricked him, and Randy Orton missed, and then later on, AJ Styles hit the phenomenal forearm. 1, 2, 3, beats Randy Orton in a not decent match. It was a good match, just not as good as I thought it could have been. Next, we had the WWE women's tag team titles on the line in a fatal 4-way. Bayley and Sasha, tag team champions, versus Tamina Snuka and Nia Jax, and the Iconics, and Natalya Hart and Beth Phoenix. Beth Phoenix was retired, came back for this match with her best friend Natalya Hart, who is related to the Hart family, obviously with her name. Okay match. It was alright. Beth Phoenix looked great for having her first match in years. So that's good, And the Iconics ended up winning, which I don't think anybody saw happening. And I'm not really mad at it. I thought it was weird. I wouldn't say it was iconic as their name suggests. But let's see what happens with them. You know what I mean? I'm always down to just see what they do. Who knows? Maybe they'll start shining way better. They're kind of entertaining on the microphone, and they're okay in the ring. But they don't, they're all right. I feel like they're the condescending bad guys, like they think they're so good, but they're really not. But they know they're not, and they just act like they are, and they're in on the joke too, and they just don't care. You know what I mean? So, yeah, good for them though. Hopefully they'll do good with them. Next up, we had a fatal 4-way for the men's tag team championships, and that was Jimmy and Jey Uso versus The Bar versus Ricochet and Aleister Black versus... Damn, who was the last team? Maybe it'll come to me. I'm sorry. I didn't put that in my notes. Like I said, I wrote them out quick. But whatever. We'll figure it out. Uh, so, good match. The Bar put on a good performance. The Usos put on a good performance. Ricochet and Aleister Black put on a good performance. I really can't remember the last team right now. Because I feel like they were probably out of place. I feel like they might not have. I feel like they could have. I don't. Oh, Rusev and Shinsuke. That's right, Rusev and Shinsuke. Rusev and Shinsuke Nakamura. See, I remembered. Uh, Remember the last team. Anyways, there was one really cool part of this match where Cesaro went to go do the swing on Ricochet, and for those of you that don't know what it is, he just hooks the legs and just spins in a circle really fast, and the opponent's just kind of like, woo, like dangling by their. But anyways, he did this move to Ricochet, and I swear he spun him for what seemed to be 10 minutes. Somebody told me it was somewhere around like 32 times or something like that. Just spun him around 32 times. And as he was doing that, Sheamus was given one of his moves, the 10 beats of the Bowman, one of those. He just basically clubs people in the chest. He was just giving those to everybody that tried to come in the ring. So you had Sheamus beating up people on the apron, Cesaro swinging the shit out of Ricochet. I just thought that was really cool. And Cesaro, the Swiss Superman, I really wish they would start doing more with you. I really like you. And Ricochet is great too. And Aleister Black. Usos ended up coming out victorious though after a double splash, and they retained their tag team titles. Up next, we have the Vince McMahon versus Shane McMahon versus The Miz, and whoa, what just happened with my phone? I have no idea. Anyways, sorry, I pressed the wrong button on my phone. My bad. Live people. No edits. Anyways, Shane McMahon versus The Miz. This match was set up at the last pay-per-view where Shane attacked Miz after their match and they didn't win the tag team titles back against the Usos. And this match I really didn't care about that much, just because I'm not a major fan of The Miz. He's okay on the mic, but other than that, I don't really care. I never liked him. And that's that. I probably never will. I don't say he's awesome. I say he's awful. But anyways, that's just me. But anyways, they impressed me though. I thought they ended up having a way better match than I thought they would. And it was everywhere, man. It was Falls Count Anywhere, so it was all over the arena. They went everywhere, beat the hell out of each other. And at the end, they were up on this high scaffolding. It had to be like 20 feet in the air or whatever. And the Miz suplexes Shane McMahon off of that, and they fall through like this floor. Like obviously there was padding or cardboard or something underneath, but the fall looked so high. Like, wow. I'd be terrified. I wouldn't care if there was 13 air mattresses underneath. I'd be terrified. But that's why I'm not a sports entertainer. That's why I'm not a professional wrestler. I'd be terrified. Anyways, so the way the floor broke, sorry, my phone almost fell. The way the floor broke, Shane's arm ended up on top of The Miz, and Shane got the 1, 2, 3 and beat The Miz. Bah, I thought that was a nice little twist at the end. Not that I'm ecstatic that Shane won or that Miz won. I'm kind of happy that Miz lost. But, I just thought that was like a cool twist at the end there to have the floor break in such a way where Shane got the win. That was good. Let's see. Yes. Next was my most anticipated match. Uh, I thought it should have been later on the card, but whatever, dude. It's fine. Um, Kofi Kingston versus Daniel Bryan. This match. It was the match that wrestling fans didn't know they wanted until they realized it could potentially happen. You know what I mean? Like one of those things. Like, you know, wrestling fans know the build up, I'm sure. But to quick recap it, one wrestler goes down with an injury. Kofi takes his place in this match, ends up going an hour, reminds the fans how awesome he is. They get a rush. It's WrestleMania season. They realize they want Kofi to be in the title match, and he just rode this wave of momentum, overcame all the obstacles that the evil Vince McMahon threw his way, and tried to hold him down. And the champion Daniel Bryan calling Kofi a B+ player when just 5 years ago Triple H was saying the same about Daniel Bryan, that he was just a B+ player. It's crazy. The match, outstanding match. Kofi's partners, Big E and Xavier Woods, were outside, cheer Kofi on the whole time. Rowan was out there too, being a menace, and just a really good match. And ups and downs, the crowd was into it. I was into it here. I was like, come on, Kofi! Kofi! I love Kofi. I was a fan of the New Day, I'm pretty sure, before anybody was a fan of the New Day. I came up with the saying, New Day rocks. You know? Oh, that's not true, I'm just kidding. But, like, damn, I might as well have. Like, from their first vignette when they were gospelish, I was like, yes, let's do it, you know, because I just liked all three. Well, I liked Big E and Kofi. I didn't really know Xavier too much. He was just coming into the WWE. But I was like, yes, let's do it. And everybody was chanting, New Day sucks, New Day sucks. And I was like, no, they don't. No, they don't. And then eventually, New Day turned everybody, but not me, because I already had their back from day one. So I was super invested in this match. And sure enough, Kofi Kingston hits the Trouble in Paradise, pins Daniel Bryan 1, 2, 3 in the middle of the ring to become the new WWE champion. And then Xavier Woods, with damn near a tear in his eye, unveiled the old WWE championship that Daniel Bryan threw away for his more environmental friendly version. And you could just really feel the emotion from Big E and Xavier Woods. They were pumped for their friend. Yeah, it's scripted, but it's still a big moment for these people. And, you know, good for them, man. Kofi deserves it. And I just hope, you know, they have the belt on him for a little while at least. Let him get that run that he so much deserves. And, you know, Kofi's kids were in the ring, and they were holding the championship belt, and his one son was throwing T-shirts into the crowd. You know, like, I'm like, dude, you're like 5, and you're on the middle rope. Future WWE superstar. So that was an outstanding match. Was not mad about it at all. Super stoked, actually. And the next match was Samoa Joe versus Rey Mysterio for the United States title. It was like a minute long. Samoa Joe beat him with the Coquina Clutch. Done. You know, Samoa Joe retained his title. Rey Mysterio was, I guess, injured. So that's why the match was so short or whatever. But it served a purpose. It made Samoa Joe look like a beast, which he is. So, can't be mad. Can't be mad about it. Next up, we had Roman Reigns versus Drew McIntyre. And, I thought this match was like kind of flat. It wasn't really anything too exciting. And the ending was kind of quick. Like it just came out of nowhere. Like, you know, they're beating each other up for a little bit, and then like out of nowhere, Roman Reigns hits a Superman punch, a spear, 1, 2, 3, beats Drew McIntyre. So it's just like, but a feel-good moment for Roman Reigns. It's his first match back since overcoming leukemia. So, I mean, you can't be mad at that. It was a feel-good moment for him. You could tell how happy he was, the look in his face, just to be back and to have his first match at WrestleMania again, and the fans embraced him because, we're not going to boo somebody that just overcame leukemia and had their first match back. But if it was last year, they would have booed him out of the building. But, it is what it is. Hopefully, everything's all good between Roman and the fans now. Hopefully, everybody can get along again, And then, this was my favorite part of the night, probably. Elias comes out. He's talking, playing his guitar or whatever. It was actually a pretty entertaining thing. He had himself on a Titantron playing the piano and the drums, and then he was in the ring playing the guitar at the same, so it was like he was his own band, So that was cool. But then all of a sudden, all you hear is Word Life, Basic Thugonomics, and I fucking died. I stood up as I witnessed John Cena come out as the Doctor of Thugonomics, which was my favorite version of John Cena, because I am a white boy hip-hop head, as anybody who subscribed to my channel knows by now. So, I was super stoked. Cena came out, said a whole bunch of awesome shit to Elias, like, you're about to witness Cena turn heel. I forget what he said before that, but it was a really good rhyme. And he said Elias's face looks like Cena's nuts, but with a hairier bush, because Elias has this big beard, And it was just good, man. It was so good to see. Nostalgia totally brought you back in time. It was what made John Cena huge in the WWE, so that was good. Stone Cold wasn't on this show, but that was a decent enough second for me. So, yeah. Thumbs up to fucking John Cena and the Doctor of Thugonomics. I love you. I was actually just listening to that theme song the other day. It came on my shuffle play on my way home from work, and I was bumping it, and then sure enough, WrestleMania, he comes out as the Doctor of Thugonomics. My phone predicts shit. It's just what happens. My phone is the fucking Simpsons. Anyways, that's a good song. Batista and Triple H was next in a no-holds-barred match, and I gotta turn my TV channel. That way, I could rewind Raw, because it's about to start. But I don't care. I'm doing this right now. But anyways, it was Batista versus Triple H in a Falls Count Anywhere match, and or no-holds-barred match. Sorry. And it was really brutal, man. Really brutal. But anyways, before I get into the match, as Batista was coming to the ring, he was in like some kind of security barricade. And he gets out of his SUV and like walks a little bit and then turns around and slams the SUV door shut. And I'm like, oh, wow, you're real tough. Like, what are you doing? Like, it was really awkward. And he ended up tripping on his way into the ring, which is great, you know what I mean? Because like Batista's known for botching a lot of stuff, so it was just great. And then Triple H rips out his fucking nose ring with nose pliers. Nose pliers, rips out his nose ring. What? It's crazy. It's crazy. I don't know how they faked that. If they did, I don't know how. I really don't. Because he had a nose ring, and then it wasn't there. And he had blood coming out of his nose. So, I don't know. I'm not saying he literally ripped his nose ring out, but there's a small chance. I don't know, just saying. But anyways, really brutal match, man. they took some hard hits and some major bumps through tables, into the barricade, steel steps. Batista got power bombed onto the steel steps and he bounced off like boom. And I was like, oh my god, you know, like it was a real good visual. And then, you know, Ric Flair ended up coming down to the ring, distracting Batista because Batista attacked him weeks prior, which set up this match. And Triple H, you know, hit him with the sledgehammer. A Superman sledgehammer shot. He jumped off the steel stairs and hit Batista in the face with the sledgehammer. And then hit him with a pedigree. 1, 2, 3. Triple H is your winner. My note, but Triple H power bounced Batista off of middle or top rope onto steel steps, and Batista bounced like a mofo. Damn! That was my note for that power bomb. So, yeah. Next up, we had Kurt Angle's retirement match where he faced Baron Corbin. It was a quick match. Baron Corbin ended up winning. What could you do? That's typically what happens when somebody retires. They give the rub to the next guy. So I'm not too mad at it. I'm a Baron Corbin fan. I love Baron Corbin. I think they could do better with him than what they are. So maybe this is the start of better things, and that'll make me happy. But it's sad that Kurt Angle retired, and but he had one hell of a career, and I'd rather see him retire now while he could still move around and stuff before it's too late. And, you know, he's crippled. It's nice to get out while you could. And then we had the Demon King, or the Demon, not Demon King, the Demon, Finn Balor, face Bobby Lashley for the Intercontinental title. And that was a relatively quick match, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Ultimately, the Demon ended up winning. New Intercontinental Champion. Way to go, Finn. I hope they keep this momentum going, because they always seem to stop and go, stop and go, stop and go, stop and go, stop and go. And I'd actually like to see Finn Balor face Seth Rollins at SummerSlam for the Universal title since, what was it now? I forget how many years ago now, but Finn Balor and Seth Rollins faced each other at SummerSlam for the vacant Universal, for the, not vacant, but the initially created Universal Championship. And Finn Balor won, but he injured his shoulder, so he had to get surgery and take time off. And he never had a valid rematch since. So I would like to see that happen and Finn get the Universal title, because I feel like he never got what he won and had to give up. And that sucks for Finn. So, yeah, I'd like to see that happen. And then the very last match is the triple threat women's main event between Becky Lynch, Ronda Rousey, and Charlotte Flair. Becky Lynch was the crowd favorite by far in this match. Ronda Rousey was the bad guy girl. And Charlotte Flair is Charlotte Flair. I don't really like Charlotte Flair. If people do, it is what it is. The match, though, was really good. There was a couple botches in there, a couple mistakes were made, you can see, but, like, who cares? They're human. It happens. You know what I mean? It's all good. But overall, the match was good. Pretty violent, pretty brutal. At one point, Ronda Rousey had the armbar on Charlotte Flair hanging off of the apron, or off the ropes to the outside of the ring. Becky Lynch comes in with a drop kick. Ronda flies and, like, damn near hits her head right off the ground, you know? So, like, that was a pretty vicious bump right there. So good match overall. A little iffy ending. It looked like Ronda's shoulders were up a tad, and the ref counted anyways. I don't know if that was a mistake or what, but yeah, it was weird. But anyways, Becky won, and you know, you can't complain about that. She was the crowd favorite. She won it all. The Raw Women's title, the SmackDown Women's title were both on the line. Becky won them both in the same night. So now we'll see what happens there. And yeah, that was WrestleMania, folks. Fireworks at the end. Becky holding up both titles. You know, and yeah, I ain't mad at it. It is what it is. I'm not the biggest Becky fan. I was, but I feel like they kind of... Once fans started comparing her to Stone Cold Steve Austin, I was like, psh, turned me off, because nobody could compare to Stone Cold Steve Austin, first of all. You know what I'm saying? That's it. And that's the bottom line. Nobody could compare to Stone Cold Steve Austin. Ever. I don't care. It's not going to happen, in my opinion. My biased Stone Cold Steve Austin opinion. So yeah, that was WrestleMania 35. Now we start getting ready for WrestleMania 36 next year in Tampa. It never ends, folks. The train never stops. So that was my WrestleMania 35 review. I'm going to try to do a review for every wrestling show that I see. I don't know if it'll be daily, or I was thinking maybe once a week, just a large, you know. But I'll try to do it daily and keep the reactions up too. And you know what I'm saying? We'll do this, man. That was my WrestleMania 35 review. 2 thumbs up. I love that we have a new Universal Champion, screw Brock. I love that we have a new WWE Champion in Kofi Kingston. That's amazing. And I'm ready for Raw. Peace.